my name is Marissa Nunez, and I'm going to be talking about the hypothalamic hypophyseal portal system. So the beginning of the whole portal system begins with the hypothalamus, which is the part of the brain that integrates activities of both the nervous and endocrine system by secreting regulatory hormones, acting as an endocrine organ itself, and containing autonomic centers. The hypothalamus controls the pituitary gland with either releasing hormones or inhibiting hormones, which increase or prevent the secretion of hormones from the anterior pituitary. Just depending on what the body needs is what the hypothalamus releases. Another major part of the portal system is the anterior lobe of the pituitary, which is also known as the adenohypophysis. The adenohypophysis receives the releasing or inhibiting hormone and produces and secretes its own hormones, which go to different organs of the body containing the receptors for the hormone being released. Connecting these two major parts of the brain is known as the actual hypophyseal portal, where blood levels link the two capillary networks or beds of the hypothalamus and the adenohypophysis via the portal veins, which are shown right here. The main objective of the portal is to ensure that the regulatory factors, meaning the releasing and inhibiting hormones, reach their intended target cells before entering the general circulation of the body. The hypothalamus contains three releasing hormones: GnRH, CRH, and TRH. GnRH stands for gonadotropin releasing hormone, CRH stands for corticotropic releasing hormone, and TRH stands for thyrotropin releasing hormone. The release of these hormones stimulate the adenohypophysis to give off its own hormones and go to the various parts of the body. So first, TSH, which is known as thyroid stimulating hormone, goes to the thyroid itself, and what it does is it binds to the membrane receptors of the actual thyroid gland to activate key enzymes in the actual thyroid hormone production, meaning that the follicle cells of the thyroid are going to let off T3 and T4. These hormones have an effect on almost all cells in the body. Next is ACTH, which is adrenocorticotropic hormone, and it goes to the adrenal gland. The adrenal gland is actually made up of an outer cortex and an inner medulla. The cortex contains three regions: the zona glomerulosa, which secretes aldosterone, and it's a precursor for the androgens and progesterones. The zona fasciculata is another layer which secretes cortisol, and what cortisol does is it accelerates glucose and glycogen synthesis. And lastly, the zona reticularis secretes androgens, which are precursors. Then lastly, LH and FSH is luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone, and these go to both the gonads, the ovaries, and the testes, and they allow the ovaries to secrete the female hormone, progestins and estrogen, and the testes to secrete androgens, which is the male hormone. Negative feedback is a mechanism used by the body to make sure that its hormone production is at the correct level and maintains homeostasis. It is a counteraction of an effect by its own influence on the process giving rise to it. The negative feedback mechanism changes the variable back to its original ideal state. Almost all homeostatic control mechanisms are negative feedback. So our bodies are run by all these hormones, and it is important that our bodies are producing the correct amounts and our endocrine organs have the proper receptors to make sure these hormones are being used properly. If there is an unbalance in our bodies, then the whole system is thrown off, and the hypothalamic hypophyseal portal system makes sure that these hormones are going to where they need to go and are doing their job.